Should you port your bass drum head? How's it going to affect the sound and playability? Let's take a deep dive into this sometimes divisive topic and hear for certain the differences between a ported and unported head. Let's first talk about playability. When you hit the bass drum, the air inside, for the most part, doesn't have anywhere to go. Why does this matter? Well, imagine what's happening inside of the bass drum. The beater hits the head, it pushes the head in, and it causes the air behind the head to push out forward towards the resonant side head. Now, that head is not ported, and it's effectively going to cause the air to push back towards the batter side head. If you're playing a lot of fast double bass work, you may feel that the head has a strange responsiveness to it, that it's got a little bit of unevenness when you're trying to do that really fast motion. As a middle ground, you sometimes see something like this on DW's resonant side bass drum head. A series of 6 small holes cut out. Now that's supposed to allow just enough of the air to escape without affecting the sound. As hinted there, porting the head is going to have some sort of effect on the sound. According to DW at least, that ported hole is going to result in a loss of some of your low-end frequencies. As such, when you do port the drum head, you usually want to limit the size. Most people I see usually recommend going no larger than a 5-inch. They also recommend to try to keep the port closer to the side rather than in the middle. You can imagine that as the hole gets bigger and it gets more centered, you're going to get more of like a concert tom style effect out of your bass drum, which is probably not what you want. Now for me, the most important reason why you'd want to port that bass drum head is for purposes of miking, or more specifically for miking the batter side head, getting all the way in close to where the beaters hit the head. This is really important for a modern rock, metal, or pop sound. In addition to miking the batter side head, you'll also sometimes see people take a boundary microphone and put that inside the drum, just letting it sit on the shell or sit on top of a towel in the shell. Or sometimes you will put a microphone just inside of the port. Let's listen to the true differences when dealing with a ported and unported head. I'm going to use 2 microphones on this experiment. I got my first mic, which is going to be going into my BAE preamp with the EQ section off. And then I have a sub-frequency, sub-low microphone that's going into an API preamp. I'm not going to have any additional processing on those tracks, though things like my snare and overheads will have more processing. This is going to be on my DW Purple Core Maple bass drum, 18 by 22. Note that I've not adjusted the pillows that came with the bass drum. We'll have 5 variations of the sound that we're going to hear. So we're going to start off with the unported head. Then for our second sound sample, I'm going to port the head. The microphone is still going to be in front of the actual head itself. It's not going to be in front of the port, so it'll be in the same spot as before. For our third sample, I'll move that microphone so now it's sitting in front of the port, still outside the bass drum. For the fourth sample, I'll start to move the microphone in with the grill just inside of the port. And then for the fifth sample, I'll drive that microphone much further into the drum. It's not going to be all the way to the batter side head, but it'll be a good amount in. I'm also going to use a TuneBot and tape to help try to keep everything consistent, since I'll have to swap the head in order to port it in between the first and the second sample. So if you are interested in hearing more little tidbits and shootouts on drum heads, then please hit that little subscribe button there or down below so that it shows up in your newsfeed next time I post one. And while you're waiting, check out this video.